Why I am saying you are the creator is, I want you to look at the nature of your life right now. If you eat a banana, in 4 hours time, this banana becomes a human being.
Dude, what's up? Welcome back. So the last video, we put this thing together a little bit. We got power to it, we got power in it. The switch is working. There's power, look, we got power, that's good. So I tested out the windows. Windows didn't work. We're gonna have to work on that. First, I'm gonna need a switch panel. Also in the last video, we were working on the intercooler piping, cleaning all that up a bit and stuff, making it look cool, making it look nice.
After the messages, be right.
Not right here.
Okay.
Give up on my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me?
Feeling artistic, so I'm gonna get my intercooler piping all back together. Well, get ready to get it back together, because the thing is, I got a little time, so what I want to do is add a little personal touches to this car and stuff. So right now what I'm doing, taking these pipings and I'm gonna airbrush a few of those pieces. I'm gonna also airbrush the door panels and stuff, but we'll see where we get with that. I've got this part too. So I think the name of the game today is gonna be making stuff look cool. So right now, that piece is actually all plastic. So I cleaned it up really good. Took all the grease off of it, any kind of oils that were stuck to it. Scuffed it a little, but you know, it's plastic, it doesn't need it that much. It's ready for paint. This one, on the other hand, I'm gonna clean it right up. As you can see, it's aluminum, so if I clean it real good, I'm gonna start with the wire brush and then go from there and see what happens. But that might be able to do some sort of clean, polished kind of deal, and I might integrate that into the whole look of everything all together. So stay tuned. We're gonna make stuff look cool. All right, so the first step in the plan, cleaning this little piece up and making that look good, is I'm going to attack it with a wire brush. That should take off most of the heavy stuff, the grease, the grime. I already degreased it more or less, but that'll take off all the big stuff that's really chunky and gross and the thick paint. It's obviously been painted a few times, so that's all gotta come off, but we gotta make it cool. So that's the name of the game today. We're just gonna make stuff look real cool. All right, so I got one pretty much done. Turned out pretty cool. Looks nice and clean, check it out. Sitting here underneath my little heat lamp deal, so it's nice and dry and warm, because it's still a little cool. I mean, summer's coming, come on baby. But it's still a little cool in here, and I want that nice and warm, so when I throw some paint on it, it's gonna stay really nice, it's gonna grab. So next I'm on to this piece. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna prep the intercooler stuff, get it ready for paint and stuff like that. I've got an idea where I'm gonna make it kind of colorful and stuff. This is just kind of for fun, you know. It's probably not even a good idea to paint this stuff because of the way the heat works and escapes from it. They're aluminum parts, so who knows. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna make it look cool. So I'm gonna get these ready, and then when they're drying and when like the paint part is done, I'm gonna get back on the inside of the car. I'm gonna make a panel for the inside. I gotta figure out something with the windows because the switches don't work. I gotta make a mount point for the kill switch. There's a few other things I wanna do. I took the radio out. I took a lot of stuff out of the car. Stuff I don't use. I mean, the radio, I had one of those flip up screen kind of deals, and when I'm drifting I don't use it. And then when I'm driving on the streets here, I live in Quebec, Canada. The streets are horrible. You need like a 4x4 truck, long travel suspension just to get a decent ride on them. Driving this on the street is pretty much an absolute nightmare. I took the screen out because it was bouncing around. It was gonna break, you know? I'm gonna make in where that radio was, that's where my panel's gonna be for the kill switch, all that crazy stuff. Window switches probably too. We'll make it cool. All right, so we continue, move forward. Look at this, look how dirty that is. So I'm cleaning up the intercooler, grinding away, doing my thing. I figure my best bet is to take a photo of it. Now I can take off these brackets. I already took off this bracket, and then I can bead blast those. I'm gonna take those. The idea here is to make everything nice, fresh, clean, give it a little bit of style, a little bit of attitude. So I'm cleaning up the intercooler. I might leave that aluminum finish because that's gonna transfer heat better. It's gonna make the air cool down faster. And then the brackets and stuff, I'm gonna throw them in here. We're gonna test that out. I haven't used that thing for years, so I don't know if it's blocked up or still works, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so now I'm basically just sitting around waiting for some paint to dry. I'm gonna do a bunch of coats on that. I'm not gonna bother filming that over and over and over again because you get the idea. I gotta put enough paint on there to make it smooth because I wanna make it nice and airbrush it or something. Do something cool to it, sort of reflect the drifter style in the engine bay. Put my own kind of touch to it. In the meantime, I'm gonna start cleaning up in here. If you look, it is a horrible mess. I'm in desperate need of a catch can, so that's why there's oil all over the engine bay. And also my belts were squeaking, so I was spraying a bunch of that belt dressing on it to stop the noise because it's just embarrassing to pull up somewhere and hear it squeak like a mouse on speed or something. That made a huge mess. There's rubber all over the place, that dressing stuff, and it turns white when it dries, and then the next coat on it was black, and it terrible mess. I'm just gonna spend the next little bit cleaning stuff up and everything, so we'll be back with you real soon. Making it look cool, making it look nice. I'm still waiting for that to cure, for that to properly dry before I can do anything with it. And I want to put some sort of cool design on it. I want to airbrush it, make it nice, fancy. So I gotta make sure I get a cool design. I'm drawing a blank. Sun's out. I want to just get this car running. I'm not rushing it, but it's gonna be time to rip some tires off soon. Today's plan is I'm gonna make a switch panel for the inside, hook up that switch properly. We got some steel here. Nice thick gauge. Now I got it a little thicker than, well, I got it nice and thick. I want to be able to put toggle switches in like this, strong enough that it's not going to bend and warp the panel every time I reach over to flick a switch. And I'm not really sure exactly all the switches that I want to put in there yet. I have a cool little start button. I was thinking about that, but I'm not sure. Kind of tacky, I guess, kind of. And it's really just an extra thing for nothing, complicate things. The idea here is I've been simplifying the car. I've been taking stuff out that I don't need. So the less junk is in the way, the less stuff it's gonna give you problems, right? Now I can keep going, but basically I pretty much emptied the doors. These doors have electric locks, electric releases, and all kinds of stuff. So I guess at one point the car was set up with one of those remote deals. You can unlock it, lock it, do all kinds of stuff. Window switches, like even it's got electric mirror things, and that thing never worked. These are aftermarket mirrors that are, I think, I'm not a fan, but so there's all kinds of wiring in this car that's useless. It's got a carbon hood. There's no more windshield wiper squirters on it. This is useless. There's like no point in having that tank there. The one in the back is the same thing. The guy that had it before me, the previous owner, he did a rear wiper delete. So I've got a tank back here with absolutely no purpose. I digress, whatever that means. So this should be fairly simple approach. Basically, I'm gonna make a panel that fits right inside here. I apologize for the lighting not being great, but that's where the radio was. Take a piece of steel. I'm gonna mark out the proper size on it. Cut that out. There's little holes that hold it all together. I'm gonna try to use that radio bracket to my advantage to be able to make the piece fit nicely in there with the original radio trim, get everything to work together properly. Maybe I'll even airbrush that too. I don't know, we'll see when we get there and see what kind of switches I put in it. And then the fun part is gonna be figuring out exactly where those holes go. So I think the best approach is just gonna be try to line it up best I can by eye, maybe mark some marks with the marker, try to zero that in, find the center, find the dead zone, find the zero, the point, the middle, hit it with the punch. And that's a cool trick because you hit metal with the punch, it makes a little indentation. Then when you put your drill on it to drill your holes, it's gonna just stay on that spot, the drill bit's not gonna dance around and put you a hole in the wrong spot. Start figuring out what kind of holes we need to drill here. Do a little test fit here. These wires are in the way, but nothing we can really do about that right now. I can send them back in. Yup, fits pretty all right. Fits pretty dead on actually. Yeah, check it out. Pretty accurate. It's gonna be impossible to hold the camera and film it, but I'm gonna try to line up the holes best I can before I hit them with the hammer, the punch, and start drilling in. Then you can mount panel, all those wires. I gotta figure out what those are. So I have these stepper drill bit things that enlarge the holes and everything to make it faster than just drilling a whole bunch of different drill bit sizes and whatever. You know what they are, the little Christmas tree looking things. These. So the thing is, the smaller one is burnt out at a certain spot and this one's burnt out at a certain spot, and they're both burnt out at different spots, so I gotta keep on flipping back and forth between the two of them so I can get everything to fit. The idea here is to get these switches, see, it doesn't fit there, but it will fit there. Line up 4 switches in there. That's the plan, that's the idea. We'll be right back. Very simply put, I'm just gonna run 2 different wires from the door all the way to the center where I'll pick up the power. Now I'm gonna use 2 kind of oddball colors. So what we got here, I'm gonna use a blue and a yellow. Hot and a cold, and those are kind of colors that you don't see everywhere. So I figure it's kind of a good thing to run through. That way I'll know that absolutely when that's passed through my dashboard and all around, that those 2, yellow and blue, are for the windows. So I'm gonna hang the rolls off the side, pull it through the door, run it down to the center where I will grab the power source, and I will probably just use the power source from the radio or something, and the ground can come directly off the battery because the battery post switch is right there. No problem. Well, turns out that everything that I need to do next, and I'm gonna have to solder some wires and do some crazy stuff over here, hook up some electrics, and let me turn the TV off. When I'm not filming and stuff, I'm watching drifting.
Nowhere to be found, tougher
So that can get kind of noisy in the background, but I just, you know, it's not even current, it's 2 years old, just a couple RX7s drifting in there. I like to learn, like to watch. I think that's gonna be it for today. I got quite a bit done. These next few videos is just gonna be continuing with the RX7. See you next time, but whatever. See you soon, yeah.